You've built a front-end app, deployed it to the internet, and connected your tools. It looks like a real product. But try this. Fill out a form on your app, hit refresh, and the data is gone. Sign out and come back, and it doesn't remember you. Right now, your app is a beautiful shell with no memory. In this video, we'll add a real database and user authentication using Supabase. By the end, your app will store data, remember users, and behave like an actual product. Supabase is an open-source backend platform. It gives you a Postgres database, user authentication, and an API layer all in one place. Think of it as the backend your app needs to become real. The database stores your data, tables, rows, columns, just like a spreadsheet, but built for apps. Auth handles signup, login, and sessions. Users create accounts, and your app remembers who they are. You get all of this with a free tier that's more than enough for an MVP. Go to supabase.com in your browser and sign up. You can use your GitHub account for a quick sign-up. Once you're in, Supabase asks you to create an organization. Name it anything, like your company name or just personal. Now click New Project. Give it a name like Broomflow. Pick a region close to you and set a database password. Save this password somewhere. You'll need it later. Supabase takes about a minute to provision your project. Once it's ready, you'll see the project dashboard. Don't worry about finding API keys or copying URLs manually. In the next step, we'll use the Supabase CLI to connect, and it handles the credentials automatically through your browser login. Back in your terminal, open Claude Code in your project. Tell Claude, connect this app to Supabase using the CLI. Claude installs the Supabase CLI and runs npx Supabase login. This opens your browser where you're already logged into Supabase. Click Authorize, and your terminal is now linked to your account. Then Claude runs npx Supabase link, which connects your local project to the Supabase project you just created. Claude picks up the credentials automatically, creates a .env file with your project URL and anon key, installs the Supabase client library, and wires up the connection. You didn't need to copy any keys manually. The CLI handled it through browser authentication. Once it's done, your front-end can talk to your database. Now, tell Claude. Create a waitlist table in Supabase with columns for name, email, and created date. Claude writes the SQL, runs it through the Supabase API, and creates the table. Then it builds a form component in your app that writes to this table. When someone fills out the form and hits Submit, the data goes straight to your Supabase database. Refresh the page, and the data is still there. Your app has memory now. If you want to learn how to do this yourself, I run free live sessions every Friday at noon Eastern. Scan the QR code on screen to join. Would love to see you there. Next, tell Claude. Add email login to this app using Supabase Auth. Claude will create a login page, a sign-up page, and wire them to Supabase's authentication system. It'll add route protection so only logged-in users can see certain pages. When a user signs up, Supabase sends a confirmation email, creates their account, and manages the session. You didn't build any of that, you described it. Let's see the full flow. A user visits your app. They see a login page. They create an account with their email. They get a confirmation email, click the link, and they're in. Now they fill out the waitlist form. Their data is saved to your Supabase database. They close the browser, come back tomorrow, and they're still logged in. Their data is still there. This is a real product, and you built it with Claude Code. Let's zoom all the way out. In 7 videos, you went from never having used a terminal to shipping a deployed, authenticated, data-connected web app. You installed Claude Code. You learned the commands. You built a front end. You deployed it. You connected your tools. And now you've added a database and user auth. Every step was a conversation in plain English. No code written by hand. No tutorials followed. Just you describing what you wanted and Claude Code building it. You're not the PM who writes specs and hands them off anymore. You're the PM who ships. You have a deployed app with a real URL. It has user accounts, a database, and it's connected to your tools. You built all of it with Claude Code. If you found this series helpful, subscribe for more. And if you want to go deeper, check out my live cohort on Maven, where I teach PMs to build and ship with AI coding tools. That's the full picture. If you want to go deeper, join my free live session this Friday at noon Eastern on Maven. I walk through this hands-on, answer questions, and show you how to build it yourself. Scan the QR code to join.